In 1800, there were two brothers that thought that humans could fly. And by flying, I don't mean the bird fly kind of. Back then, everybody believed that powered human flight was impossible, though except these two brothers from Ohio. Their names were Wright and Wright. Before then, many people have tried building these powered flights, human-powered flights, like the scientists and the rest. Like they had drawn sketches, they had made some wild predictions. Like they've tried. It's not that people have not tried because these two brothers. They've tried, but up until 1800, nobody has been able to like create a machine that can take off on its own, carry a human being and land safely, like emphasis on landing safely. Then came these two ordinary brothers. I call them ordinary because they were not even scientists. They don't have a degree. They were not engineers. Like they just had a bicycle shop. Like they repaired bicycle, they sold bicycle, and they sold like bicycle parts in case people that want to repair their bicycle. So you can see how unrelated they are to anything that is even supposed to fly. But one day that bicycle taught them something. It taught them balance. I mean, think about it. A bicycle is not balanced because it's not standing upright because it is naturally balanced. A bicycle is standing because the rider is constantly making adjustments and constantly making effort to keep it standing. Then these two brothers started wondering. They started wondering, what if flying is the same? Like, what if the greatest problem is not actually getting in the air, but being able to stay afloat up here? These questions actually changed everything. Like it gave them hope. And when I say hope, it gave them like a crazy hope. Mind you that people have tried before. The generations that came before them have tried producing this human powered a flight, but it was not possible. But this question they asked about this equation they just did, it gave them hope, a very crazy one. And surprisingly, they believed it. They believed it and got to work. They started by building kites, like all these flying kites. Then from building kites, they started building glides. And then from there, they started building bigger glides. And they crashed, like a lot of them crashed. But then after each crash, after each failure, they didn't give up. Instead of giving up, they'll ask themselves, this particular experiment, this particular one that crashed, what did it teach us? What are we supposed to adjust so that the next one will not end up crashing like this one? This back and forth, this crashing, experimenting work, this took them months and years. And finally, on December 17th, 1903, they took their first machine to a hill, like an abandoned area to try it. The hill is called Kill Devil Hill. They had just few people that came to watch. I was not there, but believe me that half of the people that came to watch must have come thinking that these people are crazy because I mean the idea itself is crazy to believe. So they probably came to just watch and see what happened and maybe mock him. Ovi was that's the second brother. Ovi was the first person that entered the machine. He started it, the machine started, he lifted off the ground and he stayed in the air for 12 seconds, just 12 seconds. And in that 12 seconds, he traveled for 120 feet. Honestly, it was not much. I mean, just 12 seconds, like staying in the air for 20 seconds. If you try to count one, two, three, like it's almost like nothing. But then it changed everything. It changed the human history, and it not just changed the human history. It gave them hope. It fueled this their delusion, and for the first time, it's actually making sense that humans could actually fly if they continue this work. Their once delusion, like their once crazy idea, is gradually becoming something that can be possible. So they did not stop here. They continued. In fact, they even put in more effort. They continued improving the airplane, and within decades, the airplane could carry mail, like light something, and then it could carry people, and eventually it crossed the sea. And just like that, one of the most greatest invention of mankind came to existence. They created that. And today, millions of people board flights, like they board a plane without even thinking twice. A trip that once took months by sea now takes hours by air. And people are actually enjoying it. But then this whole thing, it traces back to that two brothers. Those two brothers that were crazy enough to not believe that impossible mean do not try at all. I know by now you'll be wondering why is this girl even telling me this story after I'd not asked for it. But I'm telling you this story because maybe you can become the next Wright brothers. The Wright brothers didn't change history because they had the most money. It was not because they had the best education. Because like I told you, they were not even scientists. And it was not because they had the most support. They changed the history because they were just brave enough they were just crazy enough to believe that impossible cannot be a final answer to some certain situations. All those years they were trying, like all those years they were building different machines that kept crashing. Every failed glide, it taught them something that maybe the last one couldn't. And maybe that's what success actually looks like. So whatever dream you are chasing now, I don't think the right question to ask yourself is what if I fail? The right question to ask yourself is what if I'm just one experiment away from changing everything? What if I quit too soon? What if I keep trying? Like what will eventually happen? Because as you saw, these brothers they didn't stop. And also I think it is important to note that the first step of achieving the impossible is by first of all being crazy enough to believe that it's possible. So what if that your dream is not actually impossible? What if that business idea you have, that innovative idea, that creative idea you have is not impossible? Maybe you are just not crazy enough to believe it. Now you know why I share this story with you now, Abby. Okay. Please don't forget to like and share this video. Maybe somebody somewhere actually needs the video this night. So don't forget to like and share. And also don't forget to subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye bye.